Hello everyone and welcome back to your weekly MarkZ on Travis Gafford's channel video. This one's going to be a little bit different because I did not think I would have anything to blame for a blame game this week. Little did I know TSM was going to explode. So I had my editor start working on a highlight of a stream I did, which was a drunk player rating stream. I'm sorry that there's no blame game about TSM this week, but I'm sure you're going to get one next week. If you're not familiar, the drunk player rating is something I used to do with Scara back in the day as a 4th of July tradition. It's kind of like a Madden rating or an NBA 2K rating if you're familiar with those. If you're not, a quick little rundown. It's like 90s are usually the best in the role, 80s are solid players, 70s are more like academy level. And so we just go through and we rate them. I didn't have Scar to bounce off of this time, so I was using chat a little bit. For how these scales are calculated, it's on an NA scale, so a 99 would be a historically great North American split for that position. Think of peak Blabber, peak Bjergsen, peak Doublelift for those roles. You know, that's kind of what the 99s would be. Half the score is based off their current season and their current form, and the other half is based off a floating historical average that's like kind of weighted for recency. It's, you know, it's not a science, all right? That's one thing I think is the most important takeaway watching this. This is just for fun. It's not actual analysis. No one should be throwing these numbers and ratings and what I say in this video around. I was drinking during it. It's a bit of a mess, but I hope you guys enjoy and have a watch. How many drinks to get drunk? I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, you tell me, we'll keep track. So we're only taking into account NA scales, so it's not like I'm comparing the mids to Faker. When I'm really, like a 99 would be like prime Bjergsen or like prime Jensen, you know? Or prime Doublelift, you know, like that's what 99s are, like best of the best splits in North American history. Someday, let's start with Someday. Let's get some Radar 360 up here. Someday, pretty average right now. What's he been playing? So here's my opinion of Someday right now. I think he's been good. Maybe not quite as good as last split because he's not just like slamming Trinamir. But I think what was true in spring is largely still true, which is that he has been one of the more consistent members on 100 Thieves. It's him and Closer as the most two consistent. Yeah, peak Someday was like high 90s. And Someday in North America has like oscillated to me between like mid to lowish 80s, like an 84 and like a 92, depending on like the split. And I think he's like, I think like 90 might be a safe rating for him right now. Maybe like an 89, like just outside of it. So I would give Closer. I don't know how he's doing this split though, actually. He's been kind of, I haven't thought as much about him this split. Like I thought more about Spica and contracts and people than. I need to sanity check myself a little bit. Not getting a ton done. A little bit behind. I think maybe he has been having a little bit of a down split. Last split, 100 Thieves wins came from him and Closer, or in Someday kind of mashing kids. This split, it's about outscaling. And he's still doing well, but I just don't see him taking over games like last split, which is not necessarily, again, his fault, just like it's a different meta. I think he's been a pretty quiet, maybe like an 87. So I think Abba, based off his current level of play, would actually be like high 70s. Maybe 70 is too harsh, actually. I think I'm being too harsh when I say that. His scaling, I mean, his laning is an issue, but out of lane is okay. I think historically he would be a high 80s, probably. This current split is like low 80s, so I think he's like an 83 right now. FBI, 85. What the hell? You guys are harsh. I think there's a pretty clear drop-off in top 480 carries. I'd probably put him high 80s right now. I would say him and Someday are pretty close. Huhi Saporto. Haven't thought much about Huhi this split. 80, 78. Wow, people are so harsh. People are haters. Chat's gonna drag all the averages down, dude. Huhi's been not a huge factor, but he also isn't just like losing lane every game. 81 it is. All right, 100 Thieves is done. Everyone, it's time for your sip. All right, we're starting off with Big Dokes, and now chat has to go first. I think Dokla has been good this split. He plays a lot of pretty aggressive carries, and he was pretty good until his Yone game. His recent Yone one, he kind of got clapped up a little bit. I would put him more like 80, 84 maybe. Does he feel like the Huhi of top lane? Contracts. Chat, spam what you think Contracts is. This is an interesting one because he's so fucking hot and cold. All right, Contracts is fucking bad. Come on. I'd say it's about 78. Okay, here's what I'll say about contracts. He's very coin flippy, but I think he's like landing around an 82 for me right now. Like he has some really good games and he has some sus ones. All right, it's time for Palafox on the low end of like a mid 70, like a 76 is from chat. There's a lot of 70s. There's some that are really brutal. There's a bunch of 78s that were right above it though. I think here's my opinion on Palafox. He's probably having his best split thus far. I kind of agree with Cubby's 80. I think his history has not been. I think well, the thing is, a lot of these guys are academy players. You know, like they haven't had the highs in their careers that a lot of other people have that would like boost their rating even when they're not playing great. All right, let's go Luger. In lane, he has often not been asked to do very much. They still die a little bit too much, and I think he's playing more of a team game than he had to in spring, where it was like you need to carry or your whole team loses. All right, anyways, my point is I'm a little cooler on Luger. I think he's a little inconsistent. Luger hater? I'm not a Luger hater. Am I a Luger hater? Poom gang, show up. It's like between mid 80s and mid 70s. And then there's obviously the trolls who are giga chatting all over the place. I'm actually gonna like. I think this is just how it is. I'm the same for both the Palafox and Poom. Luger 4 points worse, but you know what? Fuck you guys. I got bullied. All right, everyone, we finished CLG. Everyone take a drink. Take a big glug of whatever you're sipping. All right, everyone, give me some fudges. It's a tight race. I think 89 wins. I can't name... What's a bad fudge game? Has Fudge had a bad game? Top lane pool is not that great. Like, he could maybe be the best top laner with a 91. I actually wouldn't be shocked. All right, blabber time. Where are we at on blabbas? 94, 95, 91, 96. Ooh, it's like all 90s. 90s almost all over the place. All right, I'm feeling like this is a 94 for him. There's some blabber love in this shit. I'm all about it. I will say, historic blabber for me, I think he's the best NA jungler of all time. I think blabber 94 is pretty fair and balanced. All right, Big Benson. Give me some Big Benson ratings. I feel like he's 89. He's this year IRL. I feel like people are putting him at 89. When he's really on form, like can carry a team, and right now he's not able to do that, but his laning is actually still really good. I put him at a 90 right now. All right, everyone, give me some Berserker numbers. Holy fuck, people love Berserker. Feels like there's some mid 90s and some low 90s. I feel like people are putting him around like a 93. I think the problem for Berserker right now is that he's been so held back by his supports. It's hard to get like an accurate rating of him. I think I might be a little cooler on him than chat, but not by much. All right, support Sven time. Yeah, I think 85 sounds like what they're doing. I think there's no better example than his fucking Lulu game to his Yuumi game. His Yuumi game, God tier. If that was like his only sample size, I'd be like, that's a 90 plus support right there. And then his Lulu game is like, you're a fucking 75. It's just a fucking, it's like whatever, you know? This will change a lot as time goes on, but I'm kind of with chat. He just needs more time. All right, we just finished another team. Everyone, take a drink if you're drinking. All right, let's do some diggy toss. Gomsu 73, 75, 60. My God, no one's getting a 60. 60 is academy players. 73, I think, is what I'm going to settle on from chat. No, I mean, I think this is about right. I think he was a weak side top laner that they brought in just to be stable. I don't think he makes gigantic mistakes, but he doesn't win. They don't put him in a position to win, to be fair, but I also don't think even if you did, it would be good. All right, let's do some river. Give me river, chat. All right, I'm feeling like an 86 from chat. I probably wouldn't go full like 90, but like I think he's more in closers category, but just like with way worse teammates. I would put him 88 as well. Personally, I think like I've watched his, like he could play Rumble jungle at an insane level. And now he's on Dignitas and they're like, no. You're not playing Lilia. You're not going to play Diana. You're not going to play that shit. We need you to do this. All right, give me some blue ratings. I see high 70s to low 80s. I feel like he's getting like a 79 from chat. He's never done anything to impress you. Dude, watch his Azir games. I swear to God. His Azir in the C9 game almost won them that. Now, does he have problems? Yes. Yes, absolutely. I think he has a little bit more individual carry potential than a lot of low tier mid laners in LCS historically are just bad. And so I would give him like an 82.
All right, give me some Neo scores. Let's see how many people watch Double Lift. All right, I'll put him at a 77. Felt like 77 mostly. This split, I've just not really loved what I've seen out of him. Neo Afro was also good, but I think I've come to accept that Afro just makes people look better. So I would say like Neo at his best in his career was like a mid 80, and right now he's like not quite there. So I would maybe go like a 78. Let's go Biofrost. I think 84 for Bio feels pretty good. I think he looks good. I think the point that he's held back by his 80 carry might be fair. Dignitas down. Everyone drink. We're on to EG. This will be a fun one. All right, everyone, give me Impact. All right, I'm thinking probably a 93 from chat. While he is undoubtedly the greatest top laner in North American history, he also doesn't have super dominant splits. It's more that his consistency and longevity is unmatched, but I think people have hit higher highs around him. Fuck it. Impact 93. This has gone on long enough. How are people feeling about Inspired? Give me some Inspired ratings. Wow, 97's right out the gate. I think 95 sounds about right. Then chat. I'll probably go 96. I think he's insane. I think his last split was... I saw him tweeting about this. He was memeing on Twitter about the fact that he was the 5th place NA jungler during that time period. Inspired's fucking crazy. I agree, he's probably the MVP of the league. EG are easily the best team in the league, and Inspired is easily the best player on this team. Chat, give me Jojo Pyun. Wow, laning 94, everything else 85. Wow, I thought he was gonna be a 90, but it looks like chat's pushing him down to like an 88. I think last split he would have been a high 80. I think I put him on my All-Pro. I can't find the fucking ballots. And I think he's gotten a little bit better. I put him at a 91 right now. Give me Danny rankings. Give me Donnie. But I think chat is hot on him. Chat seems to love him. I'd say chat was like a 91, 92. I will say that his champion pool depth is something that I give a lot of credit to. I think he's a 92. I give him a little higher than chat. I think the champion pool diversity, after thinking that he was like an Ezreal, whatever, one trick or whatever, I think he's having a really good split. It's Vulcan time. A lot of 93s, 94s, and a couple on the higher end. A couple lowers too, but for the most part, it seems around there. I'm pretty much with chat here. I think he's a 94. I think he's one of the best players in the league. I think his laning is not bad. I think he's probably one of the most vocal members probably on the team if I had to guess. I think he's won a lot of championships in recent years. I think he's won the most. All right, drink. We're halfway through the league. We're going to pick the pace up a little bit. Let's go with Philip. I feel like he's like a 78 from chat. Maybe a 79 even. For me, I would put him at a 76. I think his game sense for how to go in and when to go in are actually very good. But he still makes too many mistakes right now for me. All right, give me Jose Dioto rankings, everyone. All right, I feel like people are putting Jose at a solid 85. In his worst games, he's largely forgettable and not getting anything done. And in his good games, he's making shit happen. So yeah, I actually agree with Shadow on this. I go 85 as well. I think he's legit good. All right, took nasty time. 89, 91, 94, 91. Oh my God, chat loves him. Wow, I think he's like a 90 according to chat. He doesn't quite have the pop-off angle. I think he's like the epitome of a good control mage player to me. I think Takoi could stand to be a little bit more aggressive is all I would say. But maybe I'm underrating him. He is good. All right, give me some Johnson. All right, we'll put him at like an 82 from chat. I'm going to put Johnson at an 85. I understand the point that you can't separate his career from Afro's and that like Afro's probably carrying him a little bit. But again, 2/3 of his career is with Afro and it's been good. All right, on to Afro Mo. I think chat's putting him at around an 89. I'm going to put Afro at a 91. I have watched him for fucking years now and his teams are almost always okay. In lane, like he spoon-fed Cody's son. He spoon-fed Johnson. He spoon-fed Neo. He's the greatest North American support of all time. Okay, we just finished this team. Let's drink. Johnson? How do you spell this kid's name? Oh, fuck, you're right. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Give me the Golden Guardians. 82, 83, 85s, 85s, 84, 86s, low to mid 80s. We're getting a lot of low to mid 80s for Licorice. I feel like chat's putting him around like an 83. I think he's basically Dokla tier to me. I put him basically the same as Dokla a little bit. Maybe a little bit better just because he has a little bit more history of being good. If you're slurring, you're not Buzz. I don't think I'm slurring. All right, let's go Pride Stalker, everyone. 75, wow. I see some high 80s, some mid 80s, and some low 80s. So I think he's going to average out to around 85. I think this is one where me and Chad are going to have really different opinions. There's a lot of times where it's not his meta, and his team is fucked because he can't play the meta well. Price Soccer would not be an 88. No, I'm putting Price Soccer at 81. All right, let's go Blolive. Give me Chad Olive. I think 82 is what I'm seeing a lot of. I think a Blaze Olive is a really aggro player who sees angles and wants teams to play around him. And they just, I don't know, maybe the team doesn't see the game the same way. So I'm pretty down with Chat at an 82 right now. I want more out of him though. Alrighty, give me the Stixay. Give me Big Dixay, Chat. Oh, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of, I think just 80 on the dot. It's low 80s and high 70s. Everyone's within the same kind of cluster between like 78 and 82. I'll put him at 81, but yeah, I feel like he would be a good role-playing 80 carry on a team with a lot of carry threats, but none of them are actually carry threats. Alrighty, Ole time. I would say Chat's kind of hot on him. I'd say 84. I'd put him at 81 as well. I feel like him and Stixay are around the same position, but in different ways. I think Ole's a consistent 80, or excuse me, Stixay's a consistent 81. And Ole can range from an 88 to like a 75. I'll put him at 82. I feel like he can do some cool stuff. Let's start with TL Twitch chat. All right, here we go. Let's start with Whippo, everyone. Give me some Whippo ratings. Give me the whips. All right, let's go with an 89. Looks like chat has some mid 80s to low 90s. I'm gonna go 90. You won 2018 summer. All right, whatever. He's good. All right, go fuck yourselves. He made World Finals. Santorini. I feel like I'm seeing. God, it's a lot of 90s. Couple 88s. I feel like it's another 89. Maybe it's not. I feel like Santorin's playing well. I think it's between, honestly, I know people are flaming Core JJ, but I feel like it's between Santorin and Core JJ for best player on the team right now. All right, let's go to Bajurgerson. Ugh, I feel like it sounds like a 92 out of chat. It's like before he was like between God tier and really good, and now it's like he's between really good and like sometimes not very good. Is he the best mid laner in the LCS right now? Like, I just don't know if I can say that. Fuck it. He's like a 93. All right, this one's interesting to me because I think people hate Hansama in North America. I would say it looked like people were putting him around like a 91. I think he's a little better than people give him credit for. I give him a 92. I think he's really good. I think he's arguably up there with Santorin and Core JJ. This split thus far, he has made a lot of mistakes to die. But I think that has been partially a product of like playing that Twitch game where he just died a lot. But outside that, he hasn't been too bad. All right, let's go. The Core Core 98, 90, 89, 90, 91. Some low 90s, some mid 90s. 87 washed. You're washed. No way, Core is higher than Santorin. But chat's putting him higher than Santorin. I was saying that majority of chat agrees with me. We'll keep him at 93. I put him at 94 because I said I think his best splits are some of the 99s in North America. I think his peak is higher than the peaks of any other support outside like Afromu's MVP season or something, you know? And we're on to I'm Ordals. We'll try not to be too negative here, chat. I should not have saved one of the worst 2 teams in the league for last when I'm most drunk. All right, let's go. Revenge first up. It's mostly high 70s, some mid 70s. I put him at a 77 looking at chat. I feel like, and I'll probably make this point somewhere else. I feel like Revenge is a good role player who has been told you are the franchise player for our organization and has been expected to perform like one of the best North American players, even though he's not in his role. I feel like he's like an 82 actually. I think Revenge could be good in an org where like he actually has teammates. All right, Kenvi. Oh, this is so rough. I feel like I see where Twitch chat's coming from. It's all low to mid 70s. Philip over Revenge. Johnson Lull. If that's the real Johnson, then I would not be surprised you're shilling for your teammate. I'm pretty sure that's the real Johnson. Yeah, challenger to carry. All right, Johnson. Let me add the Johnson category. What's Philip at? Can be an 80. Give me some time. All right, 80. And you said he's over Revenge. So that means at best, Revenge can be a 79. Potential-wise and skill-wise, I feel like he has to be better than this. but also there's not really any in-game reason to say otherwise. I feel like I'm not far off Twitch chat. I give him a little bit more, but like, I don't know. His potential score is still high. I think he can get a lot better. It's just not there right now. All right, PoE. I feel like it's about an 80 for him from chat. Maybe it's a little lower actually. Chat looking like they put him at 78. Rate D's nuts. All right, Kevin D's nuts is about a 91. They're really swole nuts. 99. All right, we get 99. Oh wait, he'll take the 91. Back to the 91. Anyways, on to PoE. I think PoE for me, I'll put him at like an 80. But actively this split, I'd say he's really struggling. Anyways, Lost. Holy shit, Lost is like a 72 for chat. I think Lost is playing at a similar level to PoE, but he doesn't have the historical background to lift him up. All right, give me Ignar at give me the Ignar ratings. Chat is saying that he's the best player on this team, like an 83 or something. I don't know. I feel like the time off has not served him well. This is also not a good split for him. He's like a 75 for me, who's getting carried by his historical legacy. Saving the best for last, TSM. All right, give me Huni numbers, everybody. Like overall around 82. Huni's ability to get the bag. Huni as an agent is 99. Huni the agent is a 99 for sure. Huni at his peak is like one of the best top laners ever. Right now, he's like an 82, 83. So honestly, I'll bump him up a little bit more. I think he's not great. He's struggling right now a little bit, maybe more like an 80 personally, but his history helps carry him a little bit. Anyways, let's give a speaker rating. Give me the speaker. Feels like an 88 might be sane, based off what chat's saying. Like summer Spica's MVP, spring Spica's like meh. Spring Spica last split was not very good, and spring split Spica this time is actually insane. I think he's been so good this split. I think he's insane right now. I think Spica at his best is like a low to mid 90, and he's close to his best right now. Alrighty, on to a Maple. Maple will be an interesting one. I have no idea what chat thinks about Maple. I feel like I'm seeing like an 86 overall. Maybe I'm straight fucking crazy. Maple's 86 sound about right from what I saw. I'll be probably a little harsher. He ain't no took nasty. I'm saying he would have been like high 80s, 90s in his prime. And right now he's like meh. Tactical. I feel like people are putting him like a 75. There's a lot of low 70s. It's all between low and high 70s, which puts him like smack dab in the middle. I think around 80 right now is fair. I feel like 85 to 88 as peak, 75 to 72 right now, 80. Alrighty, let's give me some Mia. I haven't seen enough of him. Honestly, I feel the same way. Like, this is not a fair rating of him. I have not really witnessed enough of him. I feel like chat's giving him like a 79. Him compared to Ole, they both carried games. They both lost games. Him compared to Ignar, I think is better. Poom, you know, it's close. I feel like he's around that level. I'll give him an 80. This is the fun part. Wow. Inspire is the best player in the league right now. Don't hate that. Blabber's second best. Feels maybe a little overrated. Vulcan and Core up here doesn't feel wrong to me. Berserker is kind of surprising to see Berserker tied with Bjergsen. I will say, this does not necessarily reflect team competency. Like, I think TL are worse than the sum of their parts. All right, let's go by a roll and see if we want to adjust anything. I'm such a fucking coward, dude. I put all three at 92. I'm like, they're all the same. Wow, Luger better than Johnson is a little surprising to me. Stixay, then Neo, then Tactical, then Lost. Honestly, this list feels like it's roughly in the right order, though. I think Johnson's having a much better game than season than Luger. Jungle, Inspire, Blabber, Santorin, Closer, Spica. Man, even looking at this, I feel like I have Spica low. I'm gonna bump Spica up one for myself personally. Mid pool is kind of low. Jensen, Jojo, Takoi, Maple. Wow, I'm a mid hater, dude. I put a lot of mids low. Palafox, I gotta do my boy a solid there. He's definitely playing better than PoE. On to supports. Vulcan number 1, just barely edging out Core JJ. It's a massive drop off from top 3, and I don't think that's wrong. Top lane's a bit of a travesty as well. Impact number 1, Fudge number 2, Blippo number 3, Someday number 4. This seems about right. There's these 4 all within the 90 category, then a big drop to the Licorice Huni tier, and then it's like kind of more up in the air from there. Is Gamsu the lowest player? No, Lost is, then Gamsu. Who can say, though, that's going to do it for this, whatever this is, drunk power rankings. Drunk player ratings?
You know, sometimes when it's your job to do something and you can't figure out how to do it because you filmed so many outros over the years, and now you're just awkwardly at the end of somebody's YouTube video and they're sitting there being like, is this really happening? Is he just saying he doesn't know what outro to do? Well, if you're like that, then you might want to consider getting an Alienware computer. Because if I had one in front of me right now, maybe I'd have like a script that I've written on it that would be something I could refer to instead of this weird ad-lib thing that I'm doing right now. No, honestly, Alienware's got great stuff. We've been using everything that they create for years for TGI. I can actually officially say that now because it's just been like literal years. There's 2 years that just now where I wasn't even out here and we were using their stuff to do remote interviews, and it was awesome. They allow us to create wonderful 4K videos like this one, and I really appreciate their support. So if you appreciate my videos, understand that we couldn't do it without them. So go check them out. There's a link in the description below.